Hi, my name is Abraham Ballesteros and I am in 8th grade and I am a G&T student. I analyze and research about COVID and how it affected schools, social life, and businesses. I included a lot of research into my project. After completing my project, I realized that COVID had a big effect around the whole world. COVID-19 by Abraham Ballesteros. So what is COVID-19? COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. The first cases of the outbreak were found in Wuhan City, Hubei Province, China. Its development as a global pandemic began when it started to spread around the globe rapidly. What categorizes COVID-19 as a pandemic was its impact. The outbreak started in summer of 2019 in Wuhan City, located in China. In just a few months, it was all around the world. In a matter of time, people were forced to wear a mask when leaving their house. And over here, you see a graph of confirmed cases, and it went up rapidly. Employment and working. How COVID-19 affected overall employment. COVID-19 heavily affected the overall employment. Employment rates dropped and many people lost their jobs. If a worker were to get sick or have the virus, they will not be able to work. If they are not salary workers, then they will not be paid. Most jobs don't pay their workers if they are sick. Over here shows a graph of the employment rates for right here is the ages from 16 to 24, and the rest were always low. How did COVID-19 impact one's daily activities at the workplace? When shutdown and quarantine began in March, many places shut down, which led to workers having to work from home. One example is teachers. Teachers had to do their job and teach their students online through virtual meetings. How COVID has affected us. COVID-19 affecting education. COVID-19 affected education tremendously. When schools all around America were being closed for the rest of the school year due to COVID-19, everyone turned to online learning. As stated before, teachers had to teach their students online during virtual classes. At first, it was difficult for the teachers and the students, but as time went on, they had gotten used to it. Some schools this year have been able to open for in-school learning, while other schools remain virtual. The special thing about Washington Park School that the school allowed the students to pick if they would rather be online or in school for learning. COVID-19 affecting childcare. Parents rely on childcare to help them re-enter, or remain in the workforce, but access to affordable, quality childcare is hard to come by now. Now, due to COVID-19 pandemic, families are experiencing additional challenges and finding childcare is nearly impossible. Many of these businesses have closed temporarily due to health and safety concerns. For those businesses that are open, they now have increased operational costs to keep kids and staff safe, but greatly reduced revenue due to capacity limitations. Parents are trying to balance child care and work. Child care providers are trying to stay open or reopen with an unsustainable new business model, and employers are trying to determine how, when, and their parents can return to work. COVID-19 affection on our recreational lives. When the COVID-19 outbreak had started in the United States of America, many things have been suspended and postponed. Some examples are airline flights, sports, and vacations. Flights had been suspended to help stop COVID-19 to spread even more around the world. Sports also have been suspended. One example is the National Basketball Association, the NBA. The league had been suspended until further notice and quarantine had started, and then it resumed back in around June. I forgot to add that, but over here are the commercial flights. As you see, it went down a lot in 2020 compared to the other years. Type of businesses that was negatively impacted by COVID-19. Malls were negatively impacted by COVID-19. Malls are high populated places where a lot of people go to shop or eat. Since there is a pandemic going around, the mall is an ideal place to go. Because of the virus, mall sales reduced by 33%. Movie theaters also were impacted negatively by COVID-19. In particular, AMC movie theaters suffered the most. AMC Theaters, the world's largest cinema operator, lost $561 million in its most recent quarter as revenue collapsed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Type of businesses that survived and thrived through COVID-19 shutdowns. Supermarkets. Supermarkets were able to survive throughout the COVID-19 and even thrive as well. During the pandemic, many Americans began to cook at home than eating out. Job postings in April of 2020 went up 12% since the previous year. Retail trade, which also includes grocery stores, is one of the top posting industries right now. ShopRite has had record sales over the past 4 months due to the pandemic. And then over here is the postings trend for grocery stores. This is 2020. This is 2019. The supermarkets were able to survive through the pandemic. Supermarkets had modifications implemented and new protocols that were followed that helped the business survive the pandemic. Supermarkets disinfect high touch points like checkouts, plastic bag areas by the fruits and vegetables, and etiquette. They also educate staff on how to protect themselves and others. Supermarkets even added more hand sanitizer stations. Most importantly, they heavily enforce social distancing. This is a works cited page.